l'État, un parti politique ou un dictateur.
No al dictador. Vuestra fuerza y nuestra vida común. Noi abbiamo un accordo.
Wir setzen den Menschen an die erste Stelle, nicht den Staat, nicht eine politische
Noi mettiamo il popolo prima. Prima di tutti. Non lo Stato, non la
Видите, мы ставим народ на первое место. Именно народ, а не государство, не политическую партию, не диктатора.
You see, we put people first. Not the state, not a political party, not a dictator, but people. Our strength and our living standards show what happens when you give people a reasonably free choice in a competitive economy. A choice of where to work, or live, or worship. The right to speak up, or vote with the secret ballot. Well, my time's almost up. But for the umpteenth time, I'll close with my standard challenge. If any fascist, or communist, or what have you, doesn't honestly believe what I'm trying to prove about free choice and what it means to 150 million people, come to this studio and make me prove it. If I can't, I'll eat my words over the air. But if I can, you come to this microphone and tell your friends the truth for a change. Well, there it is. Until next time, this is Ed Keller saying goodbye for now.
Nice going, Ed. What's the matter? They get you down?
Oh, I keep wondering if anybody out there can hear me.
Sure, there's a lot of people out there. After all, we broadcast to 33 countries and 22 languages.
Yeah, but think of all the transmitters in Europe alone that broadcast nothing but static.
No, telephone, Ed.
Thanks. Ed Keller speaking.
Hi, you old flag waver.
Oh, hello, Hank. How you been?
Fine, I just heard your broadcast.
You did, huh?
Yeah, I hear a lot of things I shouldn't.
Where are you, Hank?
The grill right around the corner from you, and you'd never guess who I've got with me.
Who?
A spy.
A what?
Well, I don't know. She has her visa and all her papers and stuff, and she's an accredited newspaper woman. But if she isn't a spy, somebody's wasting a lot of good material.
Cut it out, Hank. What do you mean?
Well, seriously, Ed, I think this is exactly what you've been looking for. And she wants to talk with you. Just a moment. Ed Keller, Labia Alice.
How do you do, Mr. Keller?
Hello, Miss Alice.
Your friend makes jokes, but would you be so good to join us?
I'd like to, but...
No, please. I have something very serious to say to you. It's about your... How do you say it?
She wants to call your bluff, Ed.
Well, in that case, I'll be right down.
Well, thank you. We'll wait for you. You're Keller. Sounds like a nice man.
And you remember me? I'm Hank.
You're not very nice, but I like you just the same. Tell me, do you think he believes everything he says on the wireless?
Oh, I don't know, probably. Oh, Byron. Yeah. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
2 cups of coffee, please.
That's right. You're asking me to prove something, and I'm willing. How about you?
Well, if both our governments will agree, I think this is the first great chance to build a better understanding.
You still don't understand. In America, it's not a question of government permission. You pick what you want to see, we look around, and you'll stand in front of my microphone and be interviewed.
Yes, in both English and my own language.
That's right. And you'll tell the truth as you find it.
Yes? But who is going to be the judge of this truth?
I'd thought of that. How about Hank? He's got a lot of screwy ideas, but nobody ever said he's not a good reporter.
Oh, thanks, pal. Thanks for them very kind words. That's a deal, though.
Yes? Now, how do we begin?
Well, as I said, you pick some big part of what we have. Agriculture? Industry?
Industry. That's it, industry.
All right. One of your big industries. Which one?
That's up to you. Or Hank.
Oh, no, not me. Somebody'd accuse me of collusion. I have an idea. Say when.
There? Oh, no, not there. Something not with the luxury, don't you think?
Okay. Try it again.
Now.
Well, baby, you just put your pinky on a dilly. Swift.
Meat, food. Yes, that's important. But do you think that he will let me see what I wish? I do not think so.
Well, let's ask him and find out. They must have an office here in New York. I'll call him right away. Excuse me.
Sure. Look, baby, Swift has plants scattered all over the country. Now, how much time can you give to this?
Well, I'll have to make a phone call, too.
Oh, yeah, well... Oh, there's a booth right over there.
Excuse me.
Sure. I'll write a letter to Chicago this afternoon. When you get there, you just introduce yourselves.
Fine. Thank you very much.
Glad to do it. Goodbye.
Bye.
Americans are such children. I'm amused. But it's a fine opportunity.
All right, go ahead. But do not forget that we will watch what you do.
Yes, of course.
Vanlavia, I am very fond of you, you know. So be careful.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Don't go away. I want to show you something. 3 to Chicago. Lowers if you have them.
Right.
Just a second. You notice? No visas, no police permission, nobody to tell us whether we can go or not. We can go to Fort Worth, Los Angeles, St. Paul, Toronto. They've got plants in a lot of places. It's all a matter of choice. Do you care where we go?
No, I don't care where you go. Look, Mac, make up your mind, will you? You're holding up the line here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, here we are, folks. Step right in. I understand you folks want to take in quite a bit more than just a regular planned tour.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, what we're really interested in is people. Not so much what they do, but what's different about what they do.
You mean how our plan is different from other packers?
No, not exactly. It's the people in this country. I don't think they're so much different than other people around the world, but their opportunities are different. There's a difference in how they live and work, and what they can get for a day's work. We'd like to find out at Swift what's different about a free country.
That's some question, sir.
It is an important question, is it not?
You bet it is, because as I understand it, the people in this country have done a better job of producing and distributing than anyone ever did.
That's right, and particularly of food. It's a big job getting food to people, and in a national emergency, like during the war, it's even bigger and a lot more important.
How come? What makes that possible?
Well, if I had to put it in one word, I'd say competition does it. Come on along with me and I'll show you what I mean. There's our raw material. Every day our buyers go out into the yards and try to buy what we need. It's a competitive market, and in normal times, supply and demand determine the price. Actually, we're in competition with about 4,000 meat packers and 14,000 commercial slaughterers. That forces us to find a ready market for just about everything but the squeal, and to do the job economically.
What if you don't?
Our competitors can and will.
Suppose a rancher or farmer doesn't ship here. What else can he do with his livestock?
He could sell his livestock at a local buying station, at an auction market, or he could butcher them on his own place. Actually, he watches all the markets and sells wherever he thinks he can get the best price.
Then there's a lot of free choice in this business.
There sure is. We've no control over raw materials. Livestock comes to market when farmers and ranchers decide to send it. To keep our plants going, we have to buy when and where we can and at the market price. When we buy a 1,000-pound steer, we may only get about 550 pounds of meat. This means we often pay more for meat on the hoof than we can get for it wholesale.
I find that hard to believe.
In a way, I don't blame you. But you see, one way we can make up the difference between livestock prices and meat prices is through byproducts.
Oh,
Now,
please, I do not understand this.
well, suppose we go back inside and I'll explain what I mean.
All right, that's fine.
Byproducts are important to the meatpacking business. There's leather for shoes. There's soap, fats and oils, all kinds of adhesives, and of course pharmaceuticals like insulin. If you had diabetes and needed insulin, you wouldn't measure the value of meat byproducts only with money.
You mean to say that you make things like medicine?
No, but we save the raw materials from which they're made.
I'm sorry, I don't think I understand.
Well, for instance, insulin. It takes the pancreas glands from 1,500 cattle or 7,500 hogs to produce just 1 ounce, and there is no other source.
I see. This is all very interesting, and I imagine quite profitable.
Well, on the average, we make a fraction of a cent on a pound of meat.
You mean less than a cent on every pound of meat you handle?
Yes, and to put it in dollars, for every dollar's worth of goods we sell, we earn a profit of a little over a penny.
That's not much out of a dollar.
No, but they handle a lot of dollars.
We have to. It takes volume to operate the way we do.
Oh, but wait. Such a small profit. Wall Street would never permit such a thing.
I don't know what Wall Street has to do with it.
But surely this is one of your interlocking directorates that control everything.
Lady, this company is owned by 64,000 people. A lot of people saved and invested their money in this company. That's where all these plants and branch houses came from. All these meat plants, dairy and poultry plants, ice cream plants, cottonseed and soybean mills, the oil refineries, and plant food factories. These facilities and the tools with which we work come from those 64,000 shareholders who have invested their money in this company.
Yes, but the Swift family has control.
No, that's not so. As a matter of fact, no one shareholder owns as much as 1% of this company. Actually, it takes 4,000 of the largest shareholders to vote a majority.
Yes, but are any of the employee shareholders?
More than 5,000 of them.
What?
That's right.
Well, that really surprises me.
Now, if you folks will step this way, I'll show you through the plant.
Fine.
It isn't possible.
What isn't possible?
That a worker should also be an owner.
Well, anybody can buy stock.
But think what it means.
Well, it means they share in the profits.
Oh, no, it means that they would be exploiting themselves.
Well, I hadn't thought of it quite that way.
Well, why do you laugh?
Well, never mind. Let's go.
Come, look. Let's cut this short. I do not think we will see what we want. Not here.
You think our boyfriend is kidding us?
Well, this is headquarters. You see what they want you to see. Look, you find some one thing for us to see here in Chicago. Then we get out.
All right. I'll talk to Ed about it. They said something about their laboratory, so we'll have a look at a test tube and then go, okay?
All right. Hello?
Oh, hi. Hank's back in the club car.
I know. I wanted to be with you.
Oh? What do you think so far?
What do I think? I think you are a very nice man.
Oh, thank you.
As you say, this is a free country. Perhaps I can exercise my free choice and say what I think.
Please do.
Ed, this is all very interesting, but I'm not getting what I want.
Why, what's the trouble?
I do not get close enough to the workers. I want to talk to them. I want to find out from them how they feel about all this.
Well, I think that can be arranged at the next stop. I found out that around 15,000 of the Swift people have been there anywhere from 20 to 50 years. That says something pretty good for a company, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I understand that most of the executives and supervisors, well, around 94% of them, have all worked their way up inside the company. That says something for a company, too. They develop their own men. What are you thinking about?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Now, here's the way they look at the end of the chilling period. That's real meat. Look at the finish and conformation of that side. Not a black eye or a miscut on any of it.
Well, this is all very interesting, really, but can't we go next to some place where I can talk to some people?
Well, all right. We'll go to pork cutting where you can talk to some people.
Handling pork is different than beef, lamb, or veal because in pork we do more processing. It takes a good eye, a sharp knife, and years of experience to do what these men do.
Boy, he's certainly handy with that gimmick.
That's a specially designed tool, and he's separating the spare rib from the side, which will later be processed into bacon.
You make it look so simple, so easy to do.
I've been doing it for a long time. I must be careful not to cut too deep. The company will lose money.
Well, what difference does that make to you?
What difference? I am part of the company. I work here.
You'll notice that a sharp knife makes a lot of difference. With one smooth stroke, he follows the shape of the loin. He can't see where he's cutting, therefore it takes skill to follow the shape of the loin and still leave an even covering of fat.
There's no doubt about that.
Now let's go over here. I think you'll find this very interesting. You see, every operator in this department has his own job.
Look, you're never going to get what you want with these bosses around. Now's our chance to talk to these workers by ourselves. Why don't you try somebody over here and I'll go this way?
Good.
Say, they really push that stuff at you, don't they?
Don't bother me. The faster they push him, the more money I'll make. Lady, you have the wrong idea about us. We don't feel that way at all.
It smells so good.
It tastes good, too.
What do you say, fellows? How about lunch?
That's fine with me.
Hey, Labia. Come on.
Joe, can I see you a minute?
Sure, Mr. Harper.
I'd like to have you meet these folks. Mr. Jodorowsky, Miss Ollis.
How do you do?
Mr. Keller. Hello. Mr. Felbar.
Hello.
Will you sit down, Joe? Joe, do you mind if we ask you some questions?
No, I don't mind.
What are you going to do, Joe, when you're retired?
I will raise flowers. I like to work with my hands.
Do you have a garden?
Oh, yes. Right back of my house.
Do you rent your place, Joe?
No. I own my own home. If you have been poor, it means something to own your own home, to be able to help others, to give to the poor.
Have you children?
Yes, daughter and son. My daughter is gonna be a nun, and my son working to be skilled electrician.
You have worked here for a long time.
Except for the First World War, ever since I came from Poland.
Tell me, have you ever been sorry that you came to this country?
That I came to America? Oh, no. This is a wonderful country. Will you excuse me? I must go.
Sure.
Nice to have met you.
Thanks a lot, Joe. There goes a real guy.
You can see that, George. You know, Labia, immigrants built this country. And with men like that, I don't think we need to worry much about what's going to happen to it.
Quite a guy.
Well, we'll be sorry to lose Joe, but he'll be back.
Oh, you mean he will have to come back to work?
Oh, no, he'll be on his pension, but he'll come back from time to time to see his friends. They all do it.
Not many people get these pensions.
All right, now it's about 6,000.
George, how long have you had pensions?
Oh, let's see. We started in 1960.
Oh, that long, huh?
About these pensions, do you take so much from the workers' pay?
Oh, no. The government has us do that for Social Security. But the company puts all the money in the pension fund so it doesn't cost the employee 1 penny. You see, we have many benefits, like paid vacations, sickness and accident payments, and so on. We've had those for years.
I see. That's very interesting.
Say, folks, can I get you anything?
Oh, not for me, George.
Oh, fine, George.
Good.
Well, after lunch, there's a lot more for us to see.
Good.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, Mr. Harper.
How's the family?
Very good, thanks.
That's swell. He's a dandy fellow.
Kreskete para in Torkin, Tsara Natale?
No, niciodată. Țară mi este în mizere.
Mulțumesc, domnule. Noroc și sănătate.
Well, there goes another one. We've got to keep rolling in this business. Say, I have an idea. How about going up to the office?
Fine, fine.
Who are all those women?
They've been attending our Martha Logan cooking school.
Who is Martha Logan?
She's our home economist. Would you like to meet her?
Yes.
Just take a minute.
Uh-oh, here's what I've been looking for.
Oh, look. The food. It looks wonderful. What do you do with all these foods? Why, we've just had a group of ladies here for a cooking school.
Levia, who in your country would get food like this?
But who in your country comes to these cooking schools?
Why, women of all kinds. Groups and clubs and churches come here at no cost to them to find out how to do a better job of feeding their families. We want to help every homemaker make the most of her food dollar. We test and retest recipes. We check the quality of food products and pass on the latest findings in nutrition to homemakers.
That must be very interesting work.
Oh, it's work, but it's fun, too. Tomorrow we're conducting a high school cooking class. Wouldn't you like to come?
Well, thank you, but tomorrow we won't be here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We are too, but I guess we'll have to be going.
Well, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Come back again.
Thank you very much.
Sorry he isn't here right now.
By the way, do you folks have a date tonight?
No, not I.
No, George, we have no plans. Just as long as we're back at the hotel in time to get that late plane for New York. Why?
Well, just walking through our plant doesn't show everything. Say, how about coming out to our place for dinner so we can talk a little? Of course, you'll have to take potluck.
Well, we'd like to, but we mustn't put you to so much trouble.
Oh, it'll be no trouble at all. I'll call my wife.
Well, we're about through with our junket. What do you think so far?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
How about you, Hank?
Oh, I'm just here to keep score. Just the same,
What were you going to say?
Nothing at all, Skip it.
Hello, dear. I have 3 visitors here, and I'd kind of like to bring them home. Can we feed them? Oh, sure. Yes, I will. Well, we're leaving right away. I'll stop at the market on the way home. Okay. Bye. Everything's okay. She insists that you come, and by the way, we have a choral group here at the plant, and they're rehearsing tonight. After dinner, we could stop by and hear them. I'm sure you'd enjoy it.
Fine, let's go.
Say, did you see that red truck go by with a big Swift name on it?
Yeah, I did.
Funny thing. Every time I see one of those trucks, it makes me think of the story.
What story is that?
Oh, the story of the young man that borrowed $20 from his father. He went out and bought a heifer from one of the neighbors. He got up before sunrise, butchered that heifer, placed it in a red farm wagon, and peddled it cuts to his neighbors. That young man's name was G.F. Swift.
That's how all this started, huh?
It sure was.
Yep, the slam of the screen door, the smell of blueberry pie. Good old American free enterprise.
Is that a true story?
It is.
Can a man do that today?
Well, I couldn't. Nobody loaned me the $20.
Oh, but I'm serious.
I know that. That's the trouble. You're too serious. So, of course it could happen. Happens all the time.
It won't take but a minute.
Do you always trade here, George?
No, it just happens to be on the way home.
Free choice, remember? We don't think much about it, but that's what it is, really. Come on, let's go in. You coming, Hank?
No, thanks, Ed. I'll stay here. I saw a food store once.
Wait a minute. This is a good example of what I mean by free choice. I can take this, or this, or this, or not take any of them. I can decide. Do you want this?
No, thank you.
Okay, you don't have to buy this particular brand. Free choice, and most of us just take it for granted.
It is like a miracle. I wonder if you know how lucky you are.
But I thought it was on sale. I'm not going to pay this price if it's on sale. Why should I? You don't need all that. Put those back.
Oh, gee, Mom, he likes it. He'll eat it all.
That's just the trouble. That big dog of yours will eat us out of house and home.
Say, it looks like George is about ready. I guess we ought to go on up.
Oh, that was a wonderful meal.
It sure was, Ada. Hank, I think you should do the dishes.
That's a great idea. How about that, Ada?
No, thanks. I'll just rinse them and stack them in the sink.
Oh, but we'd like to help.
No. You just make yourselves comfortable. I'll be right in.
You folks might as well give up. You can't get around Ada. You can see by now she's the boss in our family. Say, did you get enough to eat?
Oh, brother.
Plenty, George, plenty.
I keep thinking how wonderful it must be to be in this country, if you're on the top.
On top? On top of what?
I mean, I know you do not like to admit this, but you are not one of the proletariat. You're one of the bosses.
One of the bosses?
I mean, well, you do not live like the poor workers.
You're a guest in my house, but I guess I'll have to tell you, I don't like that kind of talk very much. I don't believe you understand. I've worked hard for everything I have. My father was a mail carrier in a small southern town. He died before I finished my schooling. I had to go out and find a job. I came to Swift with no education, no skill, no trade, nothing. This company has made it possible for me to educate myself and to provide a decent living for my family and educate my son. I've worked as a laborer. I've worked as a driver in the yards. I've worked in the curing operations. I finally got to be a foreman, and then a division superintendent, and now assistant plant superintendent. This is the first house we've ever owned. It took us 25 years to save and pay for it. I've worked all my life. Don't talk to me about being poor, what it means to do a hard day's work. I'm not ashamed of having been poor, or the fact I've had to work for a living.
George, my goodness, you sound as if you were running for Congress.
Well, if he was, I'd vote for him. I think I would, too.
When George gets started...
Oh, please. It was my fault. But he speaks from the heart.
I know plenty of people that have less than I have tonight. I know that this country makes a lot of mistakes. It's a long way from perfect. I know Swift isn't perfect either. But as Mr. Holmes says, he's our president. We have ideals, and we try with everything we have to live up to them. And I don't see how any company or nation could do more than that. Now I guess I'll shut my big mouth.
It's about time. No more, George.
Okay.
Please, I'm trying to find out some things about this country.
You should ask me. I can talk without making a speech. Maybe I could ask you one. Probably everyone asks you the same question. But just what do you think of this country? I'd really like to know.
I'd like to know the answer to that one myself.
Well, in a few days we will be back in New York. I will stand up in front of the microphone and I will answer your questions. But not tonight. After such a wonderful dinner, all I can think is how fortunate I am just to be here. You have all been very kind to me. What can I say after the things you have just told us? I think you must feel very proud down inside.
Well, sure I do. But say, if we're going to see that rehearsal, we better get started.
So that's right. At that, we'll be able to spend only a few minutes getting close to plane time. You're coming along, too, aren't you, Ada?
No, thanks. I have some things to do this evening. But you folks run along. I know you'll enjoy it.
First old couple bow and swing, and you leap right out to the right of the ring. Circle half, don't shoot under. Inside out, and outside under. Inside out, and outside under. Inside out, and outside out. Dip and dive, cross the set. Dip and dive, you're not through yet. Now you're home and everybody swing. Swing and whirl around and round with a pretty little girl. Ladies to the center and back to the bar. Dance to the center with the right hand star and back to the left and not too far.
This is wonderful. It is like our folk dancing.
Yes, swing out, the ladies swing in, form that Texas star again. Break in the center and everybody swing. Now form a ring, pretty little ring. Into the center, let's hear you sing. Back again, I'll tell you when, into the center and join in.
Hey, kid! Come on now. Come on, let's go. Everybody.
They're having such fun.
Are all of these Swift people? Yes, they are. Some of them work in the various plant departments, others in the office. They just formed this club because they like to sing. I think that's pretty wonderful.
Oh, April showers may come your way. They bring the flowers that bloom in May. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for his song. Whenever April showers come along. Some folks like to sigh, some folks do, some folks do. Some folks long to die, but that's not me nor you. Long live the merry, merry hearts that last by night and day, as we are. folks here to smile. Some folks do, some folks do. Others laugh through guile, but that's not me nor you. Long live the merry, merry heart that lasts by night and day, like the queen of mirth, no matter what some folks say. Skeeters them a-hummin' on the honeysuckle vine. Sweet Kentucky bird. Sandman ever coming to this little babe of mine. Sweet Kentucky.
Everywhere in this country I have seen so many happy faces. Oh, you do not know what it means to be afraid all the time.
You is mighty lucky, babe of old Kentucky. Close your eyes in sleep. Close your eyes in sleep. Fly away, Kentucky babe, fly away to rest. Fly away.
I think we better get back to the hotel if we're going to catch that plane.
All right.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
This, I want to remember.
Say, try that hotel again, will you, and call me right back? Yeah.
I have another script in case she doesn't show.
She was supposed to be here an hour ago. I called the embassy. I got them calling the hotel again now.
I hope that's her.
Hello? Will you try Miss Labia Alice, please? Oh, she checked out? Leave any forwarding address? Okay. Thank you very much.
No luck, huh?
No. I'm worried about her. I'm afraid something's happened.
You're worried about her. I'm worried about the program.
Ed, how'd you like a little competition on that mic?
Where's Labia?
I wish I knew.
Well, I've called all over New York trying to find her.
You don't think they're going to allow her to get up in front of this microphone and spout a lot of love and kisses, do you? She's probably on her way out of the country.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I got a program on the air in about 30 seconds.
Look, let me go on. I mean it. I made the trip too, you know.
I've heard about things like this, but I don't like it. All right. I introduce you, so then what?
I don't know, but leave it to me. And if I run down, just ask me a lot of questions, okay?
Yeah, okay. America Speaks. This is the first in a new series of broadcasts about what it is we have in this country. In the studio with me is a veteran newspaper reporter, Henry J. Felber. Go ahead, Hank.
Thank you, Ed. Hello, everyone. Until this very moment, I was going to say that I wanted to talk for a girl who wasn't allowed to come here. But that isn't exactly true. I really want to talk for myself. You see, I'm a newspaper man. I get around. I thought I saw things as they are. That's my business. I knew there were some things wrong. I wanted to do something about it. I called myself a liberal, a broad thinker. But I was a dope. That's right, a dope. For a dozen years or so, I've been a pretty mixed-up guy. Talk about red herrings and fellow travelers. Well, I've just done some traveling. I've talked to a lot of American people at work, and I've learned how they feel about this country. And there's one idea that stands out above everything else. It's the big idea that has made America great. It's the big idea
about people. Here, people come first. We're not slaves of a state. Here, each individual is entitled to his own ambitions, to his own personal hopes for the future. And here's another thing. Each one of us is free to work out our own destiny according to our own individual abilities. That personal right and freedom is guaranteed to everyone in America. Now, this is the big idea upon which America was founded. And it's been the real strength of our way of life ever since. I had forgotten all that. Maybe some of you have too. But, brother, there's something we'd better not forget.